Evening all. Today I'm gonna cover this particular news which will be coming under the topic of polity, and this bill is passed in the Lok Sabha and it's yet to be passed in the Rajya Sabha. So let's get started and let's look out this particular news. Shanti Bill 2025. So what is this Shanti Bill? So this is regarding the nuclear energy. The nuclear energy sector is gonna be privatized. So they're including the private sector into the gameplay of nuclear energy. So this is what this bill is all about. The Shanti Bill, which is sustainable harnessing and advancement of nuclear energy for transforming India. So this is the full form of this Shanti. It can be asked in prelims. So it was introduced in the Lok Sabha by the Ministry of Science and Technology. So and it's to be passed in the Rajya Sabha. Once it is passed in the Rajya Sabha also, the bill becomes an act. And the purpose of this particular bill is the privatization of nuclear energy. Not a complete privatization, but the government, the public sector role will be the major thing by restricting the private sector. But there will be a participation from the private sector also. So this is the purpose of this bill. So the laws which is gonna be replaced here is the Atomic Energy Act 1962. This act actually restricted the privatization. Privatization was restricted in this act. So this is gonna be reformed, and the next act is Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act 2010. So what this act is regarding about? If the nuclear damage is caused, in the sense, before this bill before this bill, the liability is dealt with the supplier side but not with the operator side. The liability is only with the supplier side and not with the operator. So in this bill, if the bill has been passed, then the complete liability will be transformed to the operator and not with the supplier. So this is gonna be the major change, and this this plays a huge role actually, because this act which is passed in the 2010, which just states that the reliability is vested with the supplier's side. It actually restricted the foreign investments. Like no one is willing to be participating in the India's nuclear energy field because of this particular act, because the liability is with the supplier side. So but hereafter, after this Shanti bill, the foreign investments in the nuclear energy sector will be furthermore increased. So let's look into this. So what are the key provisions? NPCIL, which is Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. Before this, it is a public sector, completely a public sector undertaking, but hereafter the private is also gonna play a major role. So and also there is a major thing which is Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. So Atomic Energy Regulatory Board is also gonna be created, which is accountable to the Parliament. So in this, a cap will be fixed for the operator side, which is around 3000 crores. But whether the liability is completely with the operator side is S, but the public sector is also gonna support it by creating a nuclear fund. So why there is a need for privatization in this nuclear energy sector? Because in the Viksit Bharat of 2047, we have set some targets, which includes the nuclear capacity, bringing up the nuclear capacity of our country about 100 gigawatts. This target is a very ambitious one, because currently the India's nuclear capacity is about 8 gigawatts. So reaching out to this level of capacity is a huge ambitious one, and it cannot be done only with the participation of public sector alone. There is no more allocation of funds from our side, or from only from the government side to achieve this. So if we include the private sector also in this, then the process will get speed up, right? So that is the major thing which is gonna make a big difference. So hereafter, the advancement in the nuclear energy sector could be invested. We could see more investments regarding the technologies of the nuclear sector, so the process will get speed ups. Okay. And there is the nuclear safety and security also. The privatization are actually restricted in the enrichment process, in fuel enrichment. They're not allowed in the fuel enrichment process, and also the radioactive waste secretion also. These two provisions are not allowed for the private sector. It just vested only with the public sector side, so no doubt in this point. And also, this particular thing was a Civil Liability Nuclear Damage Act 2010. So this is very important for the prelims point of view. And also this full form of this Shanti. So this is all about this particular bill. So this is actually passed in the Lok Sabha alone, and it is said to be passed in the Rajya Sabha. Once it gets passed, it gets President assent and it becomes an act. So this is all about this particular bill. I hope you have noted all those things mentioned here. But what is the drawbacks of this bill? What are the major issues regarding this bill is the complete liability is shifted to the operator side. So now the supply side will be free, and we'll be attracting more investments. But the issue is, what if there is any fake product of um, nuclear reactors? So it plays a major issue if it happens. So this is the concern from the expert views of regarding the private sector involvement and also with the foreign investments. So I hope you have clearance from this particular news. So thanks for watching, and thank you.